They forget the dragon is just as likely to save the world as break it.
You don't need to convince this man of anything. He's beneath you. Kill him.
You'd like that?
You've got mad already.
After settling in the camp, Morraine is healed by an Aes Sedai sister named 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐨𝐽. Once recovered, she heads over to meet 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸, the alleged Dragon Reborn. There, Morraine discovers that 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸's magical power is remarkable, as it takes 2 elite Aes Sedai sorceresses working round the clock to contain him. However, despite his vast power, none of the Aes Sedai believe him to be the Dragon Reborn, as he's far too old to be the real deal. Having been away for years, the mages fill Morraine in on 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸𝐸's history. It turns out the warlock's massive connection to magic had corrupted his mind and deluded him into thinking he's indeed the Dragon Reborn. Believing to be the chosen one, 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸 invaded cities and convinced kings and commoners of his legitimacy. To curtail his invasion, the Aes Sedai intervened and abducted him from his army as they prepared to have him face trial at the White Tower. Morraine joins her fellow mages in containing 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸𝐸's power and realizes it takes her full strength and maximum concentration to keep up, thus validating how exceptionally powerful the warlock is. Meanwhile, at the other end of the camp, Nynaeve meets Liandrin and learns about the Aes Sedai class system. The experienced mage explains that the group has factions, each tasked with a unique function and identified by their colors. The Greens are trained fighters whose role is to fight during the last battle against evil. The Reds protect the world from people who misuse the One Power. The Yellows are the healers of the group. And the Blues, a team of skilled spies that specialize in gathering information. After their talk, Liandrin retires for the night, while Nynaeve joins Lan and the other Aes Sedai warders for dinner. Around the bonfire, Nynaeve meets 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸𝐸𝐸 Stepan and learns more about their culture. Stepan reveals that each Aes Sedai is assigned at least one warder, with the bond between the mage and guard being the strongest in the universe, as both parties feel each other's pain and deepest emotions. Elsewhere, Mat, Rand, and Tom finally escape Dana's town on horseback and seek refuge in a nearby barn. There, they meet a family of 4 who let them spend the night. While they clear the barn, Mat displays some strange signs, which prompts Tom to grow weary. When Mat takes a break and leaves the barn, Tom tells Rand his suspicions and, along with it, a story of the past. Centuries ago, at the end of the last age, the Dark One corrupted the One Power, such that any man who could channel it eventually ran mad. This curse has persisted for generations, with male channelers becoming increasingly violent and rabid the more they use the One Power. As a result, the Red Aes Sedai have for years captured men who can use the One Power and rid them of their ability to channel it. This often comes with terrible consequences for the men, as they typically go into a depressive state and kill themselves shortly after. After their conversation, Rand and Tom search for Mat and find him in the main house with the family of 4, all dead. The duo finds him in a trance, pointing his knife toward a seemingly innocent dark area. When Tom looks closer at the spot, he sees a Fade peering through the shadows and hauls a knife at it. The evil creature lunges at Tom with a sword, but the skilled fighter blocks the attack with his blades. Meanwhile, Rand snaps Mat out of the trance, and they both race out of the house while Tom buys them some time. The 2 men swiftly mount their horses and hurriedly flee the scene before the Dark One's reinforcements arrive. Back in the Aes Sedai camp, tensions run high as containing 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸𝐸's powers becomes even more challenging and demanding. With hundreds of miles left to the White Tower, Liandrin fears they might be unable to keep him contained. Instead of waiting for him to be tried, the Red Mage suggests they permanently cut 𝐒𝐿𝐴N's connection to the One Power. 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 acknowledges her concerns, but expresses it'd be wrong to do so without a fair trial. Moments later, 𝐒𝐞𝐚 senses 𝐒𝐿𝐴N's army has breached the camp. This briefly distracts her, allowing the false Dragon Reborn to unleash his power. His massive aura pushes Liandrin and 𝐒𝐞𝐚 back, prompting both mages to pass out. Morraine soon arrives at the scene and stalls 𝐒𝐿𝐴N from joining his troops. She acknowledges his massive power, but notes it's nothing compared to the true Dragon Reborn. While they talk, 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸 eventually regains consciousness and blasts 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬 back. Wasting no time, Liandrin and Corrine return to their feet and pair with Morraine to contain the Warlock's power. Before they can complete this, 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸 fires a fatal shot which impales and kills Corrine. Meanwhile, thousands of 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬's marching soldiers swarm the rest of the camp, with Aes Sedai mages and their warders bravely fighting them off. During the battle, Nynaeve, Lan, Stepan, and some mages leave the front lines to check in on 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐬𝐸. When they do, Stepan spots Corrine's lifeless body and is overcome with anger. He quickly charges at 𝐒𝐿𝐴ine with his axe in an attempt to kill him. However, his blades clash with the barrier maintained by Morraine and Liandrin, completely shattering it. The weapon explodes into shards and pierces the mages and warders, as all except Nynaeve fall to the ground. The healer runs to Lan and finds his neck sliced open, with large amounts of oozing blood. With the barrier shattered, 𝐒𝐿𝐴ine is seconds away from attacking the bunch with his one power. In desperation, Nynaeve unlocks her latent powers and channels for the first time, manifesting a tremendous aura that covers the entire area and heals everyone nearby. The display of power is so great that even 𝐒𝐿𝐴ine is shocked, as her magic far exceeds his own. With their wounds healed, the mages, spearheaded by Liandrin, channel all their magic toward 𝐒𝐿𝐴ine and finally sever him from the one power, robbing him of his magic for good.
You